Hello, welcome to the Daily Bible Podcast. My name is William Hemsworth. Thank you so much for joining me for today's show. Today we're going to look at Matthew chapter 12, verse 38. So we're continuing in Matthew chapter 12. And today's verse I find very interesting because it applies to so many of us today. Not that all these others don't apply to us, but I think this one applies. You'll see what I mean in a moment. So Matthew chapter 12, verse 38 says, "Then some of the scribes and Pharisees said to him, 'Teacher, we wish to see a sign from you.'" So we're in Matthew chapter 12. We have seen many miracles that Jesus has performed already. And the Pharisees are asking this maybe just a period of a couple weeks or so after seeing Jesus heal a man with a withered hand inside the synagogue on the Sabbath. And here they are again. "We wish to see a sign from you. We wish to see a sign that proves that you're the Messiah." They had no intention of believing him. I mean, it's amazing to me when we read this. I mean, I think a lot of us read this and we say, how could the Pharisees be so blind? He has done all these miracles already, and we're only in chapter 12 of the Gospel of Matthew. Matthew has 16 more chapters to go. But here are the Pharisees. "We wish to see a sign from you." I think a lot of us do the same thing. Kind of like the Pharisees, we see Jesus' miraculous birth. We see his life that was perfectly lived without sin. We see his goodness, his love, his death for us on the cross, his resurrection, and yet we demand to see something else. Just like the Pharisees. I often say, and this quote can be attributed to Carl Keating, who's a great apologist, by the way. I encourage you to read his work. He simply says, Christianity is the easiest religion in the world. It's the easiest religion in the world to prove wrong. Just show me the bones. But the fact of the matter is, in 2,000 years of Christian history, no one has been able to give us those bones. There's an empty tomb. Jesus is who he said he was. The disciples, 11 of the 12, died a martyr's death, saying that they saw Jesus after he died. They saw him in a resurrected state. They saw him alive after he died. People don't die for a lie. We have 2,000 years of Christian witness, of changed lives, of a message spreading across the world in a period of time in the Roman Empire where everything was against it, trying to wipe it out. And here it is, still thriving, still alive. And yet we want to see a sign. Just like the Pharisees. Instead of believing what has been plainly passed on, plainly substantiated. Anyway, that's my rant for today on this verse. Let's not be like the Pharisees. Let's look at the evidence. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Daily Bible Podcast. I'll catch you all tomorrow. Have a great day. Thank you for listening. God bless you.